Okay, so yeah, welcome. Um, Before we went off, I said we were going to look at this 25, and this is the BIS 25 monthly time frame. And we know that we have been bearish from this side until we reach this low, and then we put in this high, and this is the last low that price put in, and we seem to be dancing around. So we are caught up within this range. So we are sort of ranging. So last month we closed bullish. This month began, and we are going up. So in a range, much cannot be said within the range, but when you go to the lower time frame, maybe we can deduce something out of that. So simple price action, this is resistance, and this becomes support. So on the weekly, this is what we see: resistance and support. But above that, we have this as a supply zone. Go from here, we had that sharp decline in price until we reach this zone, and we have been dancing around. So apart from that supply zone, we have this high here that is also acting as resistance. So whether we are going to break it or sell down, I don't know yet. But for simple price action, it's a sell market because we are around resistance. So you can sell from there. So you keep going down to the lower time frame. You can see the price action here is just telling us price wants to sell and not buy. So you can see the candle bodies are not healthy, and we are getting a bullish engulfing candle today. So that signals a sell. So going down to our H4, you can see that even on
Yes,
H4,
sir. Please. Hello, sir. You said a bullish engulfing. Is it bullish or bearish engulfing?
bearish engulfing, sorry, that was a mistake. Bearish engulfing, but it has not been completed yet. So we have to wait for today's candle to close for us to know whether we have a bearish engulfing or not, because it can also end up like the previous ones, because that's how the previous one started and it was rejected and it closed as a doji. This one, it was bearish and then it closed as a pin bar, bullish pin bar. This one was bearish, it closed as a pin bar. This one being bearish, we don't know whether it will close as a pin bar or a strong bearish engulfing candle. So we just wait. For all we know, this is a fair value gap that we have traded into. And beneath us, we also have another bullish fair value gap. So maybe to attract price down the more. So since I'm sell biased, I'll be looking forward to maybe taking a sell towards those fair value gaps, possibly. Going down to H4.
But boss,
Yes, sir.
sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no
The fair value gap. Can you use some 5 minutes to talk about it?
Okay. All right. So a fair value gap is a three candlestick pattern where the wicks are not interlocking well. So let's take a bullish case, for instance. So let's consider the price action here. Let's consider the price action at the bottom here. When we check at the bottom here, what we can see is that this is candle 1, candle 2, candle 3. And this is candle 1's upper wick. And then the lower wick came down to fill part of the upper wick of the previous one. So when we check the wicks, you can see that there was no gap. When you take these three candles as well, there was no gap. But when we come here, candle 1, candle 2, candle 3, we can see that this was the wick of candle 1. And then this is the lower wick of candle 3. You can see that it didn't lock up well, so there is a space that is left in between them. That is what we call fair value gap. And since price has been bullish and it created that fair value gap, we call this one a bullish fair value gap, which means that it may act as support when price return to it and continue buying. So that is for a bullish fair value gap. Likewise, we can see another one here. Candle 1, candle 2, candle 3. Now, this was the wick, the lower wick of candle 3. And this is the upper wick of candle 1. You can see that the wicks are not locking up well. If candle 1's wick would have come here and candle 2 wick coming down to meet it at some point where there is no gap in between them, then there was no fair value gap. But since that did not happen, it created a gap. It created a gap, and this is the gap, a very big one, because this candle is a high momentum candle. Normally, when price is moving with such great momentum, it leaves gaps behind. You can see that for here, this current price action, no gaps are left behind. So we see efficient delivery of price. So there is no way, it will be difficult for price to return back up because there is nothing to rebalance. Normally, when you see price returning or retracing, it's going for fair value gaps or other blocks just to fill or balance that area. So when you see that the area is well balanced like this, there is no fair value gap, the likelihood price will not return there is very high. So it will keep moving towards where there is a gap and it will fill it up. And at the bottom here, I can see a tiny one here. I can see a tiny one here. So that is for bullish fair value gaps. And bearish fair value gaps are the same. They have the same explanation.
Hello, Nana.
Yes.
I think with the 51S, there was a fair value gap which it left. That's why it came back for it.
Okay.
There is one on the left.
Okay.
It came for it.
On which time frame?
On the 50 minutes.
Oh, okay. That's nice. So what I need you to understand about fair value gaps is that price may eventually seek to rebalance them before continuing in its direction.
Okay, thank you. But follow up, is it so is it at a specific point that you identify it, or in the movement you can just identify them? Example, assuming there's a retracement and price is going back.
Okay.
You can identify it, or when price is still in a bullish movement, is going no retracement, you can still identify them.
Both scenarios can be done. For instance, if price is not creating demand zones behind in a bullish scenario and you still want to join the trend, you can use the fair value gap to join.
Okay.
And likewise, if it is retracing, you ask yourself, where is it going? And it is most likely going towards a fair value gap.
Okay.
The fair value gaps normally attracts price. So normally when I see a retracement, the first question I ask myself is there any fair value gap below or above? For instance, if it's a sell, like this one is selling right now, I'll be looking at these areas to see, is there any fair value gap? I can't find any on H4. Then I'll go to H1 to see, is there any fair value gap? So I'll keep recycling through the time frames to see where we can find a fair value gap, because that is where price is likely to stop at. And then it will continue the move again. And you can see here,
okay.
Yeah, here there isn't any, except for here, there's a tiny one here. And there's another one here, which price is breaking. It's violating. It's violating. So when price gets to the fair value gap, you want to see rejections within the fair value gap and price moving away from it. Then you can join and continue. If you are bullish or bearish, you can see rejections before you join.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Nana,
Yes, sir.
please, so with the 51S,
Yeah.
I'll be glad if you could use where you place your TP. Is it because it's a low or there was a this thing that's why you placed the reason for putting the TP there?
The reason for putting the TP there is because there is a fair value gap
Okay. Okay.
around that zone. Yeah.
Okay.
There's one above, but I think it's most likely to drop down more. And the second reason is we are coming from this supply zone. And if the sell is going to be strong, we are most likely to break this low.
Okay.
Yeah, so as price keeps approaching, I'll just be adjusting the stop loss. I mean the TP small.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So we can hold. We are coming from this supply zone. So all the pullbacks, let's not worry about them. Let's not worry about them. And secondly, this is a demand zone as well. So I want to leave before the demand zone, if I will leave. Because from here, we saw that massive buy into the supply zone. So we don't know if price will mitigate this area, respect it, and keep pushing up to break this high again. That is why I have it here. Because price can decide not to touch the demand, but rather use the fair value gap above it and then return. So I'll just be watching to see. When we move so well, I'll move my stop loss to break even so that I will give back the profits to them. So we will learn more about the fair value gaps maybe in our next session or the next time we meet, because you can also invert them. For instance, if a bullish fair value gap gets violated, you can use it as a bearish fair value gap for entry. Which asset were we looking at? Verse 25, okay. So I'm bearish. I'll be bearish since we are coming from that zone. We just took out this low. And maybe price may give us a bit of a retracement and continue selling down. I don't know. Or you can decide to keep on selling. Yesterday I saw the sell, but I was thinking we will sweep liquidity first. I was thinking we will sweep the highs with candlestick wick. With the wick rejection, then I'll enter. But it didn't happen. Sometimes markets we just leave you behind. So the last assets, perhaps then maybe we'll call it an evening, or we look at a different thing. If you want us to which assets? Asset Ben I am trade
It's 100.
Step is very stubborn, so you can use that as a that one means that if I see it, I don't trust what it's going to do, so I leave it.
You saw what it did yesterday.
Oh, means Step, I don't trust it.
Oh, I am just panicking. This is it. Let me see. You see the bearishness, how it's moving. Not smooth at all. The pullbacks are crazy. But the whole year, Step has been ranging. If you check, I think I posted in the PFA group. It has been in a range. The ranges are from the whole year in Ahana Step war. This is where it has been ranging. And call baby, so look at it on the weekly time frame. It has been a range. So I just want to hold till it reaches the support. I'm hoping that even the low will break, because the general trend has been a downtrend and it entered the consolidation. So maybe to continue trending down. That's why I have my TP below the support area. So I'm swinging. I just want to leave it to see what it will do.
You are selling Step?
Yes, I'm selling. I left the buy. I was selling initially before the guy posted his setup, and it was very valid. So I left and bought, but I was taken out yesterday. And I said, the guy doesn't want to buy, because if it wanted to buy where it reached, this was a demand zone. And we saw this candlestick rejection. So if it was going to buy so well, it should have bypassed this supply zone. This was the supply zone it couldn't bypass. So this was the supply that violated this demand. This was the supply that violated the demand. So I said, once it couldn't break that supply zone, and I've been taken out, I didn't break even because I knew it can just return to entry and then still buy. So I just left my stop loss to be hit. Then I reversed my entry. I knew it will continue to sell. So as for pullbacks in there, to me, very crazy pullbacks. Look at this, the bearish order flow. It kept respecting the supply zones. This was the only supply zone that was not mitigated, and price is running away. So I think that is stepping this for us. And somebody mentioned VIX 100. In fact, I don't know what I've done to VIX 100. Anytime I enter the trade, it will start going the opposite direction. I can be watching it. But the moment I press either a buy, the moment I press the buy, it will start selling. And when sometimes I'm like, go for it, or more to tell me I'm saying, because when I had not entered, nothing happened.
Wasn't easy.
The moment I press my buy or sell, okay, so the gentleman has posted some setup. Charlie, Mumpe scan and subscribe to a web wine. Boom 1000.
Yeah, everybody.
I'm in fan to page you on that one. There's a meeting I trade it here. But very volatile, so don't joke with it if your this is not strong. Let me post it in the page right now.
Boom 1000.
Yeah, or the setup the basis, yeah.
0.2.
1000 is 0.2. Okay, or the boom 500, no 1000 in the buy. And both are buy positions. I just posted it in the group. Kindly hold on for me. Let me pick this.
Hello? Hello?
Hi.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Nature is making me extremely sad.
So sorry. I had to take some call. So VIX 100, if I press the sell, they will be buying. If I press the buy, they will be selling. But if I don't do anything, it will move. It will be moving nicely. So this has been VIX 100 for us, and from this high, we had this low, and we had a pullback, and then we have taken out this low. So we are still bearish. We went ahead to sweep this liquidity, close back within the range, and we have been dancing within this range. So this is the weekly time frame. So we don't know what is going to happen. For now, nothing much is happening, except that this week opened and then we have swept the low of the previous week. So maybe we could have switched to a lower time frame, look for a buy towards the high of the week to be swept, or maybe to the body somewhere here for our exit. So going to the daily time frame. Going to the daily time frame, it's almost the same thing. Yesterday was a doji, and today we are seeing that bullish move. I don't know whether price is coming to this supply zone, which is very possible. So going to H4, that is the zone. I can't really see anything there that will attract price there, but let's see. If you want to refine the zone, the last bullish candle here is a supply zone, because from there we had this nice sell to the downside. So maybe price want to mitigate the zone before continuing. And we can see a breaking market structure happening right now. Market structure shift has happened. This high has been broken. So we are no longer bearish from here. We have switched bullish. And look at the fair value gap I was talking about. This is a gap. Candle 1's wick ended here. Candle 3's wick was here. It didn't lock up well. So price may reverse back to rebalance it and then give us that continuation. So if you want to continue buying, you have to wait for price to come back into the zone. And the last black candle here is a valid order block. We have a break and then another break. So buying from this zone is ideal. So if you want to buy, wait for it. And this is H4. Wait for it at that zone. But me, I won't trade this asset. It used to be one of my favorite pairs when it was very volatile. At that time, no munyan sell, but I said that's what more saying. I'm increasing lot size, no cause 0.5 in we and one. I say. So we have a market structure shift here. So you consider this a liquidity sweep. This low was swept. And that was what we saw on the daily time frame. This is a week on the daily time frame, liquidity sweep of the previous week's low. So this is the previous week's low that has been swept. And we have had the market structure shift. So price can use this as a ICT. They have something called breaker block. The last supply zone that has been violated can become a breaker block. So break and retest can happen. You can wait for the retest to the breaker block. Yeah. The stop loss somewhere here. Once you are hit, then you know that price may be coming for the order block proper. So that is it. You have two chances to buy this market, either from here or here. That's why you don't risk all your capital on the first one, because it can fail, so that you have opportunity to take the second one. So that is VIX 100 for us, and that has been the market for us. I pray for a fruitful week. And I'll try my possible best to post more setups on the page once I take them or I spot them.
Bro,
Yes, sir.
thanks so much for your support there.
Yeah.
What you are doing for us.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Any day, anytime. Any day. So, Nana, do you have any question or anything you want us to tackle before we go?
No, no question for now.
Oh, um, but try. Yeah, all of us should try. Next year, dear, Nyame Adoma, whatever your weakness has been, you deal with it and then you trade properly. So if you have to learn extra harder, do it. What helped me is like I knew I had to get this thing. So what I didn't understand, I made sure I sat on it again, gather more videos around the topic, especially when it comes to top-down analysis or multiple.
Hello, Nana. Sorry
Yes,
for
sir.
cutting off.
Mm.
I would appreciate if you could put. Sometimes you want to learn, but you don't. There are so many things on the YouTube that you really know what to go pick. So once you pick something to be of help, if you could drop the link.
Oh,
So
okay.
some of us who don't know how to fetch for it could be just be learning it, because sometimes you want to learn, but you don't know where to go, because there are so many videos on YouTube where you don't know which one to go get. So if you see what like this strategy that I saw that you say, oh, it's beneficial. Once you dropped it,
Mm.
we were forced to look at it and
Okay.
master it in a way.
Okay.
So once you please be like our research assistant for us, since you are good in that.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fine.
Okay, thanks so much.
You're welcome. So at this point, let me leave you to enjoy the rest of your week. If I find any setup, I'll drop on the page. I'm still active on the chat, so see you soon. I will try and
Okay.
upload the session on my YouTube channel. So those of you that want to go over it and also
Name
go.
for the YouTube. Is it still easy?
Yeah, it's still that same channel. Yeah.
Okay.
So once I drop it, I'll drop the link in the page.
Please, my last one. The fib settings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can show me
Okay.
because I see the fib when I open it, there are plenty numbers on it, plenty.
Yeah. So are you using your phone or the machine for the fib settings? Do you want it on the phone or on the machine? Hello, Nana.
I'll use it on the phone.
On the phone. Okay. So what you don't need is the 23. Let's you chat me offline. Let me show you.
Okay.
Zoom will be going off anytime soon. The time is up. So.
Okay. Thank you.